How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to our Let's Play of the Turing Test. Um, Previously, we learned a little bit about the crew, and, well, we don't actually know much about what happened to them. Something about finding an organism and then losing contact.
What condition should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved in an accident.
Oh yeah, so that's the guy that we read about where it said terminated on all of his tasks, so... He was, I guess the brother of... well, he was a triplet. And I think his brother was the captain. A bunch of door panels here. I assume we gotta open these two. So... I think we can walk around this way. Oh, nope. So... How do we get... How do we get into this side? Just flip that. Actually, we do need this door open because this way you can grab this from outside. There we go. Put it over here. How do we get this one? Oh, probably the same way. Ta-da!
Could we take a more direct way to the ground team?
Unfortunately, there is not a direct route. The base is buried under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper to the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
Alright, so just while they were talking, I wanted to take this up the stairs, and doesn't let you do that. So I'm guessing, like before, we have to use this magnet to pick it up. Oh, yeah, there you go. And let's put it somewhere we can get it. Can I grab it off of this thing? Yeah. Okay. Put it here. Ah. Probably gotta do the same thing with this one. I think. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what are their chances of survival here? Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. There was a small problem with the food stores, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
I've just gotten used to always trying to see if there's a way to bring the power source with me. Doesn't look like we can this time. Okay. So I'm not sure what that's powering. Oh wow. So it's powering this bridge. And what does this power? The magnet. Alright. So... that's interesting. We already have a power source here. let's repower this and take this across the bridge. Oh, we need 3. Okay. So we'll probably have to pick this up with a magnet. I think that'll pick up. Let's move it a little more to the middle. Nope. This is a magnet. I forgot which one to use. Uh-oh. I know the magnet has to be powered. Don't remember. I thought it was just something on the side. It's on this side? Ah, it's tricky. Take it! And then just gotta move. Oh, I need this power rack. So to put this somewhere safe. I guess if we drop it where this bridge is gonna go, we can pick it up out of the air. Right? I had to jump for that one. Oh, we got it. And we'll take the energy from here and the magnet.
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands. The distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
They're slowly giving us a little more backstory on his role in this base. Now, I know I can open this door with 1. Oh, just what we needed. Oop. Oh man, we need 2 now. How are we going to do that? Is there a way to... There's got to be a way... Alright, so... We need that one. And somehow we need... Oh, okay. So we can use that grate to take one of these after we're inside. We still need 1 more. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, I guess. Well, yeah, I probably shouldn't, because then I'll be trapped in here. Alright, let's go back to the bottom level. Oh. Gotta power the door. Alright. So we don't need this door anymore, so we can just take this out. Power this door here. And we'll power... Ooh, we do still need to go up the stairs. Okay, so we need to use the brick to power this door. Anything we won't be able to steal from, we need to use the brick. It's probably a good rule of thumb. Does that make sense in my head? So now we have everything accessible from up there. We still need that brick though. This is a tricky problem. I think... maybe we can use the brick to keep that door open? Nah. Have to open this door. Else we'll be trapped. Okay, so... will the brick power this? Yep. Oh, look at that. I don't know if we were supposed to be able to do that, but that really worked out. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to solve this, but hey, worked for us.
How does the ISA know you're gonna make the right decisions here when they can't communicate with us?
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth. His name is Michael. The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth, running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
Alright, so this one, we're definitely gonna want these somewhere where we can see them. Not sure what I just powered. Huh. Did that power? Trying to figure out the point of this thing. I guess either one of these can power the door. Okay, so we want this to power the window, and that's power the door. Possibly? Let's see. Go ahead and take this. Not quite sure, but we have both bricks outside now, so I assume that's all we need out of this room. Because once we power this, we'll be able to take the energy. Okay. So now we have power source. Oh, we have 2 bricks here. We need one more raw energy one, I guess. We need it from this room. Or from the exit door. So now I have all these gates open. Seems right. Let me take this brick up with us. Well, do I need to break up here? I need something to power this so we can get that last piece of energy. So, can't crouch. So we definitely need to bring a brick. We don't need this room anymore, so take this upstairs. And somehow I'm gonna need one of these. Obviously, can't do that. Oh, you know what? If I keep... Let's see. If I keep that open, or at least switch these. Not quite sure about this one yet. But I want to be able to... Okay, if I switch these... Just put this here. Oh, I wonder if I can grab it from upstairs. I'm standing up here. Yeah, let me switch these two out. There we go.
Did the ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I had been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself. Have you heard of the Turing Test, Ava? It's a test to see if a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing Test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing Test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
Do you think you'd pass the Turing test?
I am quite capable of polite conversation, wouldn't you say?
I was wondering when they were going to mention the actual Turing test itself. Obviously, the name of the game is also a kind of play on the main character's name, Ava Turing. Okay, so somewhere I'm missing a piece of energy. You know what? I'm gonna have to. Yep, I'm gonna have to go get the one I put over there, wherever it is, and swap it out with that one. I just went that way. A bit of back and forth switcheroo here. There we go. Worth a shot. Uh-oh. Can't jump very good.
The Turing test has been criticized. Researchers claim it does not correctly test a machine's ability to think, but rather its ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room. In this room, you are passed Chinese sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English. This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese. In the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced you are a native Chinese speaker.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing test. A computer can pass the Turing test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
No answer. So... Oh, I didn't see that back part before. Probably gonna have to... Run! There we go. Oh, I see. That was the first time it was introducing the run mechanic. See that little telling me to click in the stick. I've been running for a while now.
I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you.
Whoa. I don't know what that means. Seemed kind of like a threat to me. Alright, so obviously we have to open that somehow. Is there something over here? Oh, there we go. Okay, there's the door, or at least a door. I think we're gonna walk back around. Luckily, I put the energy in the right one. Else we'd have to walk back.
This is the crew's quarters. It looks abandoned.
So, try to peek through. Okay. This says WC. Notice, I do not see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence everywhere is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency, but why is he in the toilets? Alright, so it's a captain. And we have Sarah Brooke and Chris McLean, which is the guy who we learned has died. Flask here. Occupy. Some kind of medicine. Doesn't tell us anything about it. Some papers we can't read. Can't pick these up either. This little geode. That? Huh, that's interesting. Looks like either he ripped the picture, or it actually looks like he might have ripped out the third brother. Just a little speculation, but doesn't seem like a normal width for the picture. Drilling reports. It says jackpot, damage to external hull, on hold for inspection, necessary repairs made. So they hit something. I assume while they were drilling into the subsurface ocean. Here's his service certificate. This little outdoor window. Guess his favorite player on the hockey team. Just a regular globe. Let's check out. Oh, I was expecting to find some logs on the computer, but just static like we saw on his brother's bio. Alright. Oh, let's see if we can go into Sarah's room. Strange thermals on the west side of the crater. Some sort of I don't actually know what this is. Sarah's bed. Let's see, she's got some beakers, a cross, and a book with, she has a ruler in the telomere section to read about telomeres. Which, if you don't know, those are the little tips of our chromosomes. And not a biologist, don't know too much about them, but I know it has something to do with tracking age. Let's see. Looks like she's got some medicine too. Looks like the same bottle. Okay. This is the doctor. He's got a log. Or emails. Alright. So this is to Matthew Layton. Hi Matthew, we have been studying organism 119. Please find attached scanning electron microscope image, which appears to show pelus formation. We hypothesize that this is a stress response due to high levels of radiation. We plan to infect the human cell line with organism 119 and perform irradiation experiments with flow cytometry? Sorry, not sure what cytometry is. Would this be appropriate? It would be great if you could get to the department to look at the SEM image. Kind regards, Siachi. Some sort of picture from the organism. Soichi, it was great to see this image. Wow, yet more complex life on Europa. That's the Latin name for it, I assume. Might be worth looking at as it survives very high levels of radiation here on Earth. Similarly, you should consider looking at Sulfortis. I'm not going to try to pronounce these. More organism names. Produces Philae response to radiation and uses them to transfer DNA. Perhaps your organism uses a similar mechanism. Have you considered that organism 119 is transferring or scavenging DNA as a method of surviving radiation? As you well know, in terms of radiation, Europa receives 5.4 SV per day, over 300,000 times the level of Earth. The organism must have evolved such a high resistance to radiation as a necessity of survival. That said, the radiation beneath Thera Macular, I think that's where the station is much lower due to the thick ice crust. Radiation experiments will flow cytometry sound like an appropriate course of action. Hi Matthew. We have attached an image confirming that organism 119 attaches to human cells. We will proceed with irradiation experiments on these cell lines. We propose naming organism 119 Europa radiophilus. What do you think? Hi Matthew. We have now run the irradiation experiments and can confirm that E. radiophilus does indeed seem to confer resistance to radiation. See attached. We assume survival due to DNA damage repair. We tag the various DNA repair enzymes with GFP and have found that DNA double-strand break repair is occurring. See attached GFP images. Hi Soichi. Something's amiss. We don't know what is performing the repair. The lab doesn't know how E. radiophilus, good name, could repair DNA. Have you considered that another organism may be in a symbiotic relationship with E. radiophilus? Perhaps a virus. Matthew. We ran a PCR on the human cells exposed to E. radiophilus to see if there was a virus present. We have discovered an unknown virus, which we have named unknown Europa virus, or UEV. Gel electrophoresis image attached. This is phenomenal. You need to sequence this. From Matthew. We finished sequencing it. Data attached. It is a virus unlike any we have ever seen. Maybe we have found a cure for sentience, a form of biological immortality. We are running some long-term tests on plants and mice to see the effects. So that's interesting because in the other room, we saw the page on telomeres, so that would make sense if they're studying the possibility of biological immortality. The plants are clearly exhibiting longer lifespans when exposed to the organism. We don't have the facilities here to continue testing. We're going on to human testing. We're going to use ourselves as subjects. It's the only way to accelerate the process. Okay, that is not good. And that was the last entry. Probably not the best idea, just find some new organism on another planet and just start testing on yourself. Why not? So we can probably assume that it didn't go very well. Okay, so this is from Chris. And it looks like, not sure if this was, looks like an earlier correspondence than the one we just read. So, what is it you found then, Soichi? We have found an extremophile, an organism that can live in extreme conditions, that survives massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. The extremophile scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Essentially, they work together to survive in what's called a symbiotic relationship. So what's the implication? What does it do? In some ways, it's an immortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Aging and death are ultimately caused by DNA damage. We have the ability to fix our DNA, but that ability is limited. This organism can repair damage caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness this power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as sentience. So you found something that could make humans immortal? Not exactly. There are many causes of death other than DNA damage. It would not save you from trauma, from brain damage or cardiac arrest, but it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases, and massively increase life expectancy. Okay, so definitely learned some interesting stuff in this room about what possibly could have happened to them. Oh, and here's another bottle of that medicine. And because of what they said about the radiation levels, I'm betting that this is something they take to fight radiation poisoning while they're on the planet. Or, I guess it's technically a moon, but... Alright. Okay, looks like it's been painting. Got some syringes here. What's this? Oh, that's interesting. The label went away when I picked it up. Some medical supplies. And he's got some logs too. This is the Russian doctor. Alright, so this is just his journal. On March 6th, the whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I am concerned. This was not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I am reporting to ISA. And then the next day, I reported the nauseous incident to the ISA. They offered an explanation of electrical disturbance to our central nervous system. That is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. Alright, and then the day after that, I've discovered that electronic fields disturb our telemetry implants in a way I didn't expect. I have contacted the ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. Alright, then on the 9th, the ISA have reported back informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They have also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. I am continuing to investigate. I'm not sure what that says in Russian. And then 2 days later, I've been running some experiments outside of Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. I have been acting differently. He has been acting differently around me, like an offended child. I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out-of-body experiences are more frequent now. Okay, and then on the 16th, I have established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I used my opportunities and regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. And then 10 days later, I cannot will myself to investigate this any further. I grow tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it is trying to subdue my mind. I think I am going to attempt an excision. I am going to remove this implant. I am typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I have successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refused to talk to me. Apparently, I am a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. Oh, wow. Okay. I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make for some worrisome revelation. Perhaps this organism is not so friendly. Den informed me ISA have called for my termination. My masochistic experiment proves I am a danger to the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the braid. I'm going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It does not help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. I have discovered the nature of the implant. It is a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning. Elicit feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient, and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with motor neuron cells through the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. That is their strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact. Perhaps a drug? Riluzole? Maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects, combined with a strong electromagnetic field. I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. Okay, so that explains the medicine they're all taking. So since they're all taking it, I wonder if he was able to get the crew on his side. Oh, that's literally what it says right afterwards. Okay. I have managed to get Chris on my side. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It will be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I am hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he will still be listening. Alright, so the one guy he was able to convince to help him is the only crew member that we know for sure is dead. So, not real trustful of Tom at this point. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for part 2. It'd be really interesting to see if what we read in the journals affects how, Ava's interactions with Tom. He clearly has been, I don't know if it's him or the ISA, but somebody's using those implants to, I guess, control the crew. I guess we'll see. See you later.